The next thing that we're talking about is a user journey map, which is also a simple template that you can find from at the bottom. So just go over here and search for user journey map. Now that we have a user journey map, we're going to import this as a simple template. We're going to drag this over here and we're going to get started. So this user journey map is good for walking a mile in the user's shoes and plotting out the problems and goals the users have. Now that we know who the user is, now that we know how the user is going to work, now we can actually walk a mile in their real shoes and plot out the problems that the user is having. Let's get started with that. So just to get you started, you can change this image if you want to. Simple stuff. Let's add the user's name, which is always, surprise surprise, Maya Patel, because why not? What is the age? Age is 29. Do not get surprised. What is the occupation? We have been talking about the occupation. It's freelance UI UX designer. What is the location? We've talked about this as well. It's Delhi, India. I'm sorry, I'm not capitalizing stuff. Don't get mad at me. What's more information about them? They left their agency 2 years ago for a freelance career, right? What's some other information? Another bit of information is she's tried job boards, networking, cold outreach, but has failed in every single one of those. So has tried job boards, networking, cold emails, and has failed, right? So this is also a really important part of who the user is. Once we have figured this out, now we're going to talk about user needs. What high level needs does the user have that they're willing to fulfill right now? So what is their needs? Their needs are, they want a reliable method to find and secure clients. They also want a way to stand out in a crowded market, and they also want clear pricing strategies to avoid undercharging. So they want three things. Number one, they want reliable method to get clients. What is another thing that they want? They want a way to stand out, become the expert. What is another thing that they want? I'm sorry, bad grammar. Clear pricing strategy and negotiation strategy. So they want clear pricing strategy. All of this is really good stuff. Now we figured out the top 3 user needs. Next, we're talking about what is the mindset of the user when they're engaging or using your service. The mindset of the user is, the user's mindset is, I love designing but hate the fact that I can't get clients, hate the fact that I've always got to chase clients. I want to get a system that brings them to me so I can focus on what I do best, right? So their mindset is, I love designing but want a tool to bring clients to me because I hate chasing clients. This is the user's mindset. You can add a couple of supporting links, which are going to be the dribble profile of the designer itself. You can add a couple of other links such as the Behance profile, and you can add the portfolio website as well. Portfolio website. And now we're going to talk about the most complicated of complicateds, weirdest of the weird, user journey map. Let's get started. This is sort of weird, and I know it's weirding you out and scaring everyone at the same time. Let's try to break this down. So, number 1, user actions. What action does the user take during each step? Goals and experiences. What are the goals and experiences? What are the feelings and thoughts, pain points and opportunities? This is the first row. The second one is awareness, consideration, acquisition, service, loyalty, blah blah blah. Let's get started with the first section. When they are aware of the situation, what is the step that they're taking? Let's just get that question clearly handled first. so when they're aware of the situation, they're browsing job boards, they're watching freelance success stories, and they're just getting jealous, right? So they're browsing, when they're aware of the situation, they're browsing job boards, they're also reading freelance success stories. Let's get rid of this guy because we only need 2 for now. So while they're aware of the situation, this is what their actions are. So they're browsing job boards and reading freelancer stories. Next, what are their considerations? Now that they're browsing these stories and browsing these job boards, what are the things that they're thinking to themselves? They are thinking about comparing different platforms, Upwork versus Fiverr versus LinkedIn. I know it's a little bit unrelated, but they are comparing platforms, and they're also exploring portfolio strategies. So they're comparing platforms because they're looking at different platforms, comparing what's best for them, and also thinking about portfolio strategies. So what portfolio would make me stand out, right? So let's just get this down to 2, simplify stuff. Next, they're thinking about acquisition. Acquisition is building a portfolio, sending cold email, applying for jobs. To actually acquire clients, what are they doing? They're building a portfolio to get a client. To get acquiring clients, they're building a portfolio. They're also sending cold emails and applying to job board freelance jobs, right? So they're doing a bunch of things. Now, for the service phase, what is the service that they're providing? What is the work that they're doing? This is basically service. For the service phase, they're working with client and defining design processes. For the service part, they're working with their clients. It's amazing how I can't spell there without going through a whole thing. Anyways, they're also refining their design process, getting themselves better. They're also going through different trends, but we're just going to bring this down to 2 for now. Anyways, so what's the loyalty? So loyalty is the 5th part. What are they loyal to? Until now we've talked about when they're aware of their problem, what are they doing? What are their considerations? How are they acquiring clients? When they acquire clients, what is their service process? Next, we're talking about the most important part, and I know it seems unrelated, but stick around for me. Loyalty. What are they loyal to? When you know what a user is loyal to, now you can actually build a system where they're loyal to you instead of nothing at all. So they're following up and asking for testimonials and maintaining relationships. So they're following up for clients, they're loyal to their clients, following up to clients, they're maintaining relationships and asking for testimonials. As far as the loyalty phase is concerned, they're asking for testimonials, and also they're maintaining client relationships and also past client relationships. So they're maintaining relationships with basically everyone to get clients, right? Next, what goal is the user trying to accomplish? Let's just talk about what the user is trying to accomplish with this part. So the user is trying to learn about the different ways to get clients, right? So right now, when they are aware of their problem, what is the goal that they're trying to accomplish? They're trying to accomplish this goal that they're learning about the different ways to get clients. So they're learning about the ways to get clients. Next, what are the considerations that they're taking? So what is the consideration in their mind, and what is the goal related to that consideration? They want a stable source of income at this point. So I'm just going to zoom it here. You can change the size and color if you want to, but I'm just going to keep it at this. Let's change this to pink. What is the consideration in their mind? They want a stable source of income. Next, what is an acquisition strategy that they're using to get their goal. To get what the goal is, because this line is for the goals, what is an acquisition strategy for them? So let's just get this guy over here, zoom in, change this color to purple, and they're basically trying to land their first consistent client. This is their acquisition strategy for their goal. So just consider this and this. Whenever you're filling out a cell, just think about this word and think about this word. That's all you've got to do. To get their clients acquired, what are they doing? They're trying to land their first consistent client. Trying to land first consistent client. Next, what is the service that they're providing with their goals and experience? So they're trying to deliver high quality work and ensuring client satisfaction. With relation to their goals, what is the service that they're providing? They're providing high quality service and ensuring client satisfaction. So basically, they are providing high quality service, ensuring client satisfaction. Of course they are. Next, what is the loyalty that they have with relations to their goals? And this is really, really important, because this is the point where you're able to tell if your product is going to be a success or failure with this specific audience. So as far as loyalty is concerned, as related to their goals and experiences, they're building a reputation and getting repeat clients, right? So they're loyal to the fact that they need to build a reputation, get repeat clients. Build a reputation and get repeat clients. With that said, we've at least listed out one of each, and you can take the time to detail all of these as much as you want. Next, we're going to talk about feelings and thoughts and also use these emojis to express ourselves. What is the awareness when their feelings and thoughts are considered? So right now, when they're browsing job boards and learning the ways to get clients, they are curious, but also they're overwhelmed, because they're browsing these different places, but also they're overwhelmed with all of these different ways. So curious and overwhelmed. We're going to get rid of the emojis that we don't need for this purpose. So if a person is both curious and overwhelmed, what are they thinking? They're sort of in the middle of everything, right? We're just going to copy and paste this guy. They're also curious. They're curious, but they're also overwhelmed. So they're 50-50 right now. Next, what is their consideration while doing the feelings and thoughts? So their consideration right now is excited but uncertain. So they are excited about what we're doing here, but they're also uncertain. So let's just do excited and uncertain. So they are a little bit excited, but they're also a little bit uncertain, which is sort of getting in the middle. Next, what is their acquisition strategy with, what is their acquisition with feelings and thoughts? As far as their acquisition strategy is concerned, their feelings and thoughts about their acquisition strategy is that they're nervous about rejection. So right now, their acquisition strategy is about their acquisition strategy. They're very nervous, right? So they're nervous about rejection. Next, what is their feeling about the service? So right now they're nervous, and I feel like for nervous we're going to use this guy. Let's just get this right here. Next, what is the service what do they think about the service? So they're confident, but also they're cautious, which is the way you should be, by the way. You are confident about their service, but also you're quite... Yes, Hasib is asking if this live session will be on the channel. Yes, this side live session will be available on the channel, but only for a little while. So don't miss it, because we've got a couple of cool membership thingies coming on this channel, and you probably will miss it if you just wait around. So don't miss it. Don't put this off, right? Check it out today, check it out tomorrow, because who knows what happens next week, Hasib. All right. they're confident about their strategy, but also they're thinking about a little bit of the nervousness. So they're confident but also cautious about their acquisition strategy. Wow, I can't spell anything now. TIOUS. If my spelling at this point is just laughable. Now, what is their feeling about their loyalty? They are accomplished and motivated, right? Right now that they've gone through all of this, now they're loyal to the feeling of being accomplished and also they're motivated, if that makes sense. All right, so with that, let's do a couple of feelings. This is confident and curious and cautious, but also accomplished and highly motivated. Next, we're talking about pain points. So what's not working? What causes friction? How many people does this affect? On a scale of nuance to showstopper, how bad is this pain? What is their awareness, right? So for the awareness part, they have for the awareness pain points, they have too many options and not sure where to start, right? So let's just get this orange guy in here. What is their current pain point as far as awareness phase is concerned? They have too many options, not knowing where to start. Next, what are their considerations with the pain points? So let's just copy this guy, get this thing down here. They're unsure about which strategy is best for them. Unsure about which strategy is best suited. Next, what is their pain point as far as the acquisition phase is concerned? For the acquisition phase, they have low response rates as well as pricing confusion. So that's there because they don't know low price, high price. Sometimes clients don't come in at all. So they have low response rates and they have pricing frustrations. Next, what are their pain points regarding their service? Right now, their client communication has issues, and sometimes a scope creep occurs. Scope creep is basically when client says you have to design a landing page, but the landing page later on has enough content to fill up 2 websites. So the idea in the head of the designer was this big a page, and it actually becomes 3 website long single page. So that's basically scope creep. More work than is said in the headline, and that just snowballs. If you've felt it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Right now there are and scope creep is basically a client communication issue. Client communication issue and scope creep is also common. If you've seen my shorts where I'm designing basic phone UIs and talking about freelancing stories from back in the day, you'll know exactly what scope creep is, because if you haven't yet, just check out my shorts because they're super duper cool. You'll also become a super duper cool person. Anyways, next we're talking about their loyalty and their pain points with their loyalty. So right now they struggle with long-term retention. For the client loyalty, they struggle with getting the clients to stay long-term client retention. This is a struggle with the client loyalty. Now we want to talk about the good parts, the opportunities. What are the opportunities with the current phase? So for as far as the opportunities is concerned, what are the opportunities in the awareness phase? Currently the opportunities are for us as the person who's designing the tool for them, we can provide a clear roadmap for client acquisition. Knowing everything that we know about this user, we can provide a clear roadmap for, with whatever way, tool, service, whatever you want to do, for client acquisition. Right? So if you just provided them with the right roadmap, their problem would be solved. This is an opportunity for us. Next, what is the consideration that we need to have for this opportunity? The consideration that we need to have is we need to offer case studies and make sure they know the right success paths. So the consideration that we need to have over here is to provide trustworthy case studies. Next, we're talking about what acquisition opportunities we have. As far as the acquisition is concerned, the opportunities we have is to create templates and guides for outreach and pricing. So we obviously need to create templates and guides for outreach and pricing. Not prosing, pricing. Next, we're talking about service opportunities. So as far as service is concerned, the opportunities we have is we can teach them effective communication and project management. We can teach them effective communication with clients, because this was becoming a scope creep issue. Communication and project management, so that they don't have many cases of scope creep, right? What's the loyalty opportunity that we have? As far as loyalty is concerned, we can encourage referrals and community buildings to get client loyalty. We can encourage referrals between clients and a community of clients as a whole, right? With that said, you guys, now we have the awareness, the consideration, the acquisition, the service, and the loyalty while talking about all of these different elements. This is the user journey map of the user. And with that said, this is the simplest explanation of a user journey map that you can find on the internet. Well, folks, that was the entire explanation of user journey maps simplified. Click this video for the complete live stream where we talked about everything user research, or check out this playlist which covers in detail every single topic related to UX research if you're into UX design. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Alright, love you, bye.